Oftentimes when people are first learning about the field of cultural competence, they think their job is to learn about the food, the traditions, the holidays, the dress, the rituals, the religious customs of different cultures. And that stuff is important, but it's not the only part of cultural competence, and it's not the most important part. I think the most important part of cultural competence is something that I call managing your prejudices. Everyone is prejudiced towards some other group of people for some reason. Some people are uncomfortable with those that have darker skin or lighter skin, or people who are fat, or people who are too skinny, or people who don't dress well, or people who wear high heels. I'll tell you what mine is. I often feel uncomfortable with people that have purple mohawks and multiple body piercing. And in fact, when I come across someone like that, I feel really uncomfortable. And in fact, in the words of my 11-year-old daughter, they really creep me out. So when I'm asked to work with someone who is like that, I'm somewhat incompetent. I'm ineffective. It's hard for me to engage with them, to treat them fairly, to listen to what they have to say seriously. And I think that all of us will have some experience like that with some group of people. So what I tell people is that you will never get rid of that feeling towards another group of people. Perhaps if you were in psychotherapy for a number of years, you might feel more comfortable with someone that has purple hair, or that's very obese, or that wears high heels, or whatever it is, or someone who has darker skin or a funny accent. It may take you years to kind of get rid of that feeling. But what I tell people, in order to be culturally competent, what you need to learn to do is to manage the feeling, is to manage your prejudices. And that starts with being honest with yourself. You know, there's something about that group of people that I'm not comfortable with. Be honest with yourself. And then learn to try to not trust that feeling, or not pay attention to it when you're responsible for treating that person fairly, when you're responsible for listening to that person. Certainly if you're a healthcare provider and you're trying to engage with that person so you can understand their medical history, so that you can give them medical advice, you need to do so and kind of put your feelings of prejudice aside. I think when people try to ignore those feelings, or they try to deny those feelings, they're actually more likely to get sucked in by them. And it's better just to be honest with yourself. I don't like that group of people. I don't like people that have an accent, or I don't like people that have that color skin or dress that way. That if you can be honest with yourself and say, oh yes, that's the feeling that I have whenever I'm with that group of people, and then manage it. Put it aside and say, okay, I'm a professional and I need to interact with that person in an effective manner. I need to get a full medical history from them. I need to talk with them about a diagnostic and treatment plan. I need to schedule an appointment. I need to talk with them about their health insurance status. Whatever it is, in a healthcare environment, you need to be able to engage with people, those you feel comfortable with, those you don't feel comfortable with. If it's a group of people that cause you to feel prejudiced, you simply have to manage your prejudices, put them aside, and try to interact with that person in an effective way anyway.
So I'm going to prove some things to you. What I'd like you to do is look at this fellow, and I want you to tell me what your gut reaction is to him. Is he honest? Is he lazy? Is he hardworking? Or is he manipulative? No, wait. I don't want you to tell me. I don't even want you to tell each other. But I want you to tell yourself. I want you to be honest to yourself. What's your gut reaction to this guy? What about this guy? Is he honest? Is he lazy? Is he hardworking? Or is he manipulative? This lady, is she honest, lazy, hardworking, or manipulative? And last, what about this fellow? Is he honest, lazy, hardworking, or manipulative? Notice your gut reactions. Do you know anything about these people? Do you know anything about where they went to school, what they do for a living, what their values are? No, nothing. All you do is you're just looking at them and you're making all kinds of assessments just based on what these people look like. So where do these come from? Where do prejudices come from? I'd like to tell you something about first impressions. There's no such thing as a first impression. Or let's say that you had all your first impressions before you were age 5, or in some cases before you were age 10. You already had your first impressions. All the impressions that you have now are at least second impressions. All of these people remind you of someone that you've known in the past, someone you've seen on TV, somebody that somebody told you, this person is X way, is like this, or the other person is like that, or you saw somebody on TV. So now when you're working with somebody, a coworker, a patient, someone that you see that reminds you consciously or unconsciously of somebody that you've met in the past, you're going to have a gut reaction. But remember, you're not reacting to the person in front of you. What you're reacting to is some experience that you've had in the past, someone that you've known, someone that you've seen on TV, something your mother told you about one of these people. That's what you're reacting to.